Hello everyone, it's me Mushroom. I am also a student like you all who is learning this, and according to my experience of learning, like what type of note is good for us and how can we remember everything easily. So I have make some note about embryology of eyes. It is really a difficult topic in anatomy of eyes, and but we have to learn it because it get us some more marks. Okay, without any further delay, let's get into the video. First, embryology of eyes. If you take about embryology, it is about a fetal. When we during our pregnancy, we know about this embryology. Development of eyes. Okay, I will note by this cover. Development of eyes. The development of eye bulb when development of eye bulb can be considered around 22 days of gestation when the embryo has 8 somites and pair and it is around 2 mm in length, and the gene which forms the embryo of eyes, which is known as PAXG. What they mean by this, like development of eyes start in the 22 day of gestation. After our conception, after 22 days of gestation, our development of eyes begin to start. At that time we have 8 somites paired. It is a single pair and it is around 2 mm in length. See, the eyes is also small, so their embryo and the length is also strong like 2 mm, and its gene is 2PAXG. Okay, it's grow out of laterally toward the side of the head, and it end slightly dilated to form optic vesicle and proximally constricted to form optic stalk. Okay, if you think about our eyes, it is side of our head. Okay, it is down, and what this sentence want to tell us about it, the it grow out literally toward the head of the side. Okay, and it's indirected to form, and it ends to form optic vessels and proximally constricted to form optic stalk. When we talk about embryology of eyes, we always have to talk about optic vesicle and optic stalk. Okay, now let us know about what is optic vesicle. Actually, it is nothing but the outgrowth of procephalon or neuroectodermal structure. It is neuroectodermal structure which is outgrowth of procephalon. And lens placode. What is lens placode? It is a specialized area of surface of ectoderm and surrounded by the surface mesoderm. Lens placode is actually a specialized area of ectoderm and surrounding surface ectoderm. Okay. Mesenchyme, the surrounding optic vesicle. It is surrounded by the optic vesicle. Sorry for the movement of the camera. Optic visceral mesoderm. These are the 4 points like optic vesicle, lens placode, mesenchyme, and visceral mesoderm. These are the point where which is important in embryology of eyes. Okay. Now begin with the formation of optic vesicle. How the optic vesicle is formed and how the optic stalk is formed in our embryo, and how its formation is gone. Let's study. It is formed by neural plate, and it is a junction of procephalon and dicephalon. Here the future optic vesicle and optic nerve obtained. Okay, if we talk about this picture, I'm talking about this picture. Okay, this is neural plate, and here the it forms placode, which is a thickening of it in the middle side. So in this sentence we want to tell you that it is the neural plate where I have shown you previously. It is a junction of procephalon and dicephalon. It is a junction of procephalon dicephalon. It is the place where the future optic stalk and optic vesicle is formed. Okay, here start the thickening of centrally. The neural plate start thickening, and gradually it depression, so it form optic sulcus, which is also known as lens placode. Okay, Wait a minute, I will show you the picture and you will understand it. And then finally it forms a very elongated area, spread wings like optic vesicle, and it comes from the neuroectoderm and other part of the surface ectoderm. This optic nerve which is coming from the neuroectoderm, this have to go slower to the surface ectoderm, and because it is related. Okay, just leave it and see this picture. If you understand this diagram, you will understand the whole formation of optic vesicle and optic disc. This is a neural plate which is the junction of dicephalon and procephalon. This junction of dicephalon and procephalon. Okay, and here in the middle part it start thickening. If you think about like this, okay, if we start thickening, if they start thickening, of course it's form some depression because this part is thicked and this is not, so it is start depression. This thickening is called placode, which is known as, we previously studied about the sulcus. This is the sulcus. Okay, and after this thickening it start to depress like this. Okay, it is like this, and down it's like, oh, it is like depressed. This depression is called optic sulcus. Okay, if you talk clearly, this optic sulcus is gradually increasing its size and lies a wing like structure which is known as optic vesicle. Okay, there is the optic vesicle is formed. Now what happens, this surface neural plate start like joining, it starts joining, it is like this, and now it is like, oh, it is like joining like this. If it join, it just this part optic vesicle get down, and this upper part neural plate, which is known as surface ectoderm, has separated from each other, and because it is related, so it comes near to it. I have already told you about the optic nerve which is coming to closer neuroectoderm. This is neuroectoderm comes closer to this optic vesicle because it is related. Okay, now if I talk about what is this structure, then in embryology this is the structure, and this small part is our optic vesicle. If we cut it, it will like come exact like that. Okay, it's further form like this. When it comes near, like this is our surface drum, and this is coming near. Okay, like this. Okay, if you sorry it's like this, and here is our optic stuck. Okay, this my hand, this is our optic stuck, and this is our vesicle, and this surface drum. And if we split this picture, this is surface drum, this is optic vesicle, this is optic stuck. Okay, it comes near, and this is constricted, which forms optic stuck, and this part is optic vesicle, this is surface drum. Okay, I hope you have understand it. And then let's come here. In future, the optic disc and optic stalk and optic nerve, in future the optic stalk form optic nerve. I have already told you this elongated structure, this forms in future, it forms optic nerve. Okay, okay, let's talk about the change that take place in optic vesicle forms optic lens vesicle. What is the like form, what the change has occurred in the optic vesicle? See, in this it is like this. Okay, and now it's changed, and it's some changes occur there. What happens, I will not go to the theory. If you want a note, I will just remind you like this. Let's begin with this picture. If you understand, in embryology we have to understand about the picture. If you understand the picture, you will get everything you want. Okay, okay, this lens optic vesicle, just leave the optic stuck now, just think about the optic vesicle, and this is surface ectoderm. Okay, and again what happened in there, it is start thickening. Here also the surface ectoderm start thickening, which is known as lens placode. After the thickening, like this. Okay, this is our optic vesicle, and here is the surface drum, and it is depressed like this. Okay, like it is depressed like this. This depression come near and near, because it is thickening and coming near to the optic vesicle. The optic vesicle is also changing its form, like a cup, like structure, that it can be get in invasions into it. Okay, are you getting it? I hope you are getting it, because I have also started about this and I have learned everything, and now I understand everything. Okay, and this depression come near, then it is fully depressed, and this is here and the depressed part is called lens pit. This thickening is called lens placoid, and this elongated part is called lens pit. Okay, now what happens here, actually what is happening here is, let's talk about this. Okay, this is our optic vesicle. Okay, and this is the surface ectoderm, and here it is start thickening. Okay, and it for the lens vesicle is changing itself like this. Okay, and the lens is coming like this. Okay, what happens here, as like about this, it start attaching, and it this structure detach from here, like this structure detached from the surface ectoderm, and it invaginates into the vesicle. Now this vesicle has two part. Okay, now this is called optic cup because it has two side, and here is our lens vesicle, and here is surface ectoderm. Okay, now see the structure perfectly. Oh, I have talked about this, and it is occur at the 33 day of gestation. We have already started 20 day of gestation is start to form the eyeball, means the eye structure development, where the optic vesicle and optic stalk is forming. Okay, in this day the lens vesicle is formed. Now let's talk about formation of optic cup. We have already told you lens vesicle has converted into the optic cup. I already told you the lens vesicle has come to optic cup. It is because that happens because developing of lens is invaginates itself into the optic vesicle. I have already told it is invaginating here, so it is from optic cup. In fact, coverage of the optic vesicle to the optic cup is due to the differential growth of the wall of the vesicle, and the margin of the optic cup grow over the upper and lateral part side is also enclosed. What is this line want to tell us? Like this is our sorry for the picture here. What happens, this part and this part is growth. Okay, but this part and this part is not growing. That's why it is telling that it is a differential growth, because it is growing rapidly, it just close it. Okay, and block the space there. However, such a growth doesn't take place over the inferior part and inferior. I have already told you. So deficiency in this part, the deficiency extend to form distance along the inferior surface and the optic stalk, and the called choroidal fatal fissure. Okay, the space, it is like this. Okay, I think you should see this. Here is a black like dot which is like this. Okay, okay, this is called choroidal fissure, which is the deficiency of the lens, which is also known as coloboma. Okay, for today I will told you about this optic cup, optic stalk. This is the first part of embryology of eyes. After that I will tell you about the change in mesenchyme and everything. For now, if you like and if you think that it is really relatable and you can get some knowledge from here, please like, comment, and do subscribe. I'm also a student and I'm doing for you, and it's really, I really want to see this video by all the students who think that embryology is really hard. Okay, okay, thank you, bye bye, see you in the next video. For now, bye bye, just study hard and study with the picture, it will show you everything you want. And during the exam I have a plus point. During exam, if you ask if the question is about the optic cup or optic stock, just make this picture, you will get a full marks. Okay, bye bye for today, bye bye.